Olive was in a small, dimly lit room. In front of her were lots of buttons and levers and colourful flashing lights.
Where am I?
Some lights shone out over a beautiful underwater world outside the window.
Pecking, what a view!
There were hundreds and hundreds of fish swimming around in front of an enormous blue canyon.
Oh, I'm in a submarine deep in the ocean. I can't wait to explore.
Olive pushed a big red lever marked forward and the submarine dived deep down into the canyon. Olive spotted the opening to a cave.
Interesting.
Said Olive as she drove her submarine right into the cave.
It's even darker in here than it was before.
Olive drove through a big patch of seaweed.
Oh no, now I can't see where I'm going.
The seaweed suddenly came to life and picked up the submarine.
Ow!
Then in the headlights loomed the big green face of an octopus.
Hello.
Bubbled the octopus.
Pecking, who are you?
My name's Jonah. I've been trapped inside this whale for days. It's so good to finally meet someone new.
My name's Olive. But what do you mean, trapped inside the whale? I just drove into a cave.
Oh no, that was a huge whale's mouth you drove into, Olive. And now he's closed it shut. There's no escape.
Pecking, that doesn't sound good. We need to make the whale open his mouth again. Maybe I could turn my engines all the way up, and then the bubbles will make the whale cough. Then we can escape when he opens his mouth.
Olive turned the submarine's engines onto full power and the water started to bubble up.
Oh, that didn't work.
But then the bubbles Olive had made tickled Jonah on the tummy.
Oh, those bubbles tickle.
An octopus with 8 legs. Tickling? I think I may have an idea. Jonah, if you use all your legs, you can tickle the inside of the whale's stomach and make him laugh. Then we can escape through his mouth.
Oh, I think that might just work.
He stretched out his 8 long arms and began to tickle the whale's tummy.
Tickle harder! Tickle harder!
Cried Olive. Jonah tickled as fast as he could. A wall of bubbles started rushing down the tunnel towards Olive and Jonah.
Watch out!
Pecking! What's happening?
I think we might be going out of the top.
The top?
Olive and Jonah were fired out of the whale's blowhole, up high in the sky. Then they started to fall back towards the water.
Wow!
Jonah clung to Olive's submarine with his 8 tentacles as they fell. His body inflated like a parachute, drifting them both gently down to the surface of the water.
Well, that was a lovely, gentle landing.
Oh, thanks so much, Olive. I'm free at last.
That's okay. I think we've all had a whale of a time.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I've been helping an octopus escape a whale.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the ostrich!
It was a wet and grey autumn day, and Olive jumped out of a big pile of leaves. She was wearing a pair of green Wellington boots and a big yellow raincoat. Olive looked around and realised she was in an impressive garden.
This garden must belong to someone very special.
She was standing near a little shed. Next to the shed leaned an old tandem bike and some planks of wood. The shed door opened and out walked a badger.
Careful there, lassie. I've been tidying leaves to make the garden respectable before the Queen arrives to stay in her castle for the winter. She'll be here soon. It's going to be hard enough to finish in time without having you spread the leaves all over the place again.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm Olive. Maybe I could give you a hand tidying the leaves.
Oh, well, thank you. You're an angel, dear. I'm Frank McBadger. I'm Her Majesty the Queen's personal gardener. We'll use these rakes to tidy the leaves up into one big pile.
Olive and Frank got to work. They raced against the clock to finish before the Queen arrived. It was hard work, but eventually all the leaves were in one huge pile.
Oh, thank you, Olive. Job well done.
But as they stood admiring their work, a big gust of wind blew the pile of leaves all over the garden again.
Oh, no, we're doomed.
Cried Frank.
There's no time to tidy the leaves up again before the Queen arrives.
Olive looked around the garden.
An old tandem bike, some planks. I think I may have an idea.
Olive took 3 planks and put them together in a star shape. Then she attached them to the old tandem bike, where the missing back wheel used to be.
Ooh. Come on, Frank. Let's get on the tandem and start pedalling.
Frank was puzzled, but he sat down behind Olive on the tandem bike. They both started pedalling.
Faster, Frank, faster!
Olive and Frank's feet were spinning faster than they had ever done before, and it made the planks of wood spin around like a huge fan. This blew all the leaves in the garden high up into the air.
It's working, Olive. We're tidying up the leaves.
Cried Frank. But Olive and Frank couldn't believe it. All the leaves had landed on top of the castle, almost burying it.
Egg! We didn't want that to happen.
Oh, no. Here comes Her Majesty.
What's been going on here, then?
Asked the Queen.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Your Majesty. She doesn't look happy.
He whispered to Olive.
Frank, this is marvellous, splendid, fabulous.
It is?
Said Olive, confused.
Oh, yes. Last winter, this old castle was freezing cold. What a splendid idea to use all the autumn leaves to keep the castle nice and warm.
Oh, well, don't thank me. Thank Olive here, Your Majesty. It was all her idea.
Oh, I see. Well done, Olive.
Olive curtsied before the Queen.
Why, thank you, Your Majesty. But it's probably time for me to leave.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I've been tidying up leaves in the Queen's garden.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.